you may remember that, but I remember it vividly, that it became part of accepted opinion, mainstream media opinion, that the Clinton was on his way out, that what they had with the evidence from Monica Lewinsky and the Paula Jones scandal, it was enough, and he should just leave. You know, he's toast. A very knowledgeable lawyer friend told me 10 months before he was acquitted. And it was American opinion that I think defeated the impeachment.
Well, I don't know. I would say that it was clear. Wasn't it clear by this time, 1998, July, middle of the summer in 1998, that they were never going to have 63 votes in the Senate, and that if he only stays in there, he'll be in there?
Yeah, well, at a certain point, the vote counting started. But my memory, and I'm sorry to be so impressionistic that I would disapprove of myself if it were someone else, but my memory is that Democrats were waffling on this, as they always do. They were being craven and uncertain. Joe Lieberman gave his deeply moving speech saying that it was a crisis of conscience and Bill Clinton had offended the morals of all Americans, and he, Lieberman, could not support Clinton. And so it went, and one heard this on the talk shows, and then came the opinion polls, month after month, 60%, 70%, where a majority of Americans are saying they don't approve of what he did, but they don't want him impeached. I think that's what gave stamina to the majority who voted against impeachment in the long run. But my only comparison is on this point. Impeachment is an extreme act possible under the Constitution that goes with the powers of inspection and the correction of the abuses for maladministration. It was extreme, and yet it was made ordinary. It became part of our daily talk for months. And that was over the head of the disapproval of most Americans. And it's been the same with this war since at least late 2005, that disenchantment with the war is general. And yet acceptance now of the idea that we're going to stay in Iraq, and nobody ever says the word super bases. The last political character who made a point of it was Bill Richardson in the primaries. He said, if I'm elected, the super bases will go. But you don't hear a word about that from Obama or from any other Democrat.
No, indeed. Ron Paul has talked about it. He talked about the embassy the size of Vatican City there in the green zone.
Yes, he's been very, very candid about that.
What's funny is, I wanted Bill Clinton impeached for anything. I didn't care what they came up with. I mean, I didn't want it to be a bogus charge, but I figured if they picked any of the thousands of felonies that he had committed as president and impeached him for that, that would be good enough for me. And I wish that everybody felt that impeachment was normal and that we impeached and removed every president from office.
I think impeachment, I agree with you this far. Let's not go back into the Clinton business. But I agree with you this much, that impeachment is underused. It's meant to be a much more regular, by which I mean frequent, proceeding than we have made it. But the effect of the Clinton impeachment has been to inoculate Bush against the danger of impeachment.
Yes, I'm afraid that that's true. Yep. Well, one thing is, if everybody who had opposed the Clinton impeachment had favored it, then George Bush would have never been the president. Although Lieberman would have been the vice president, and that probably wouldn't have been very good either. So, no Al Gore fan
got
here.
An editorial right there.
That's right. All right. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time and insight on the show today, David.
Well, thank you, and it's been good talking to you.
Everybody, that's David Bromwich. He's the Sterling Professor of English at Yale University, and he writes a lot of great blogs at the HuffingtonPost.com.